Hello, my name is George, and today I'm doing a quick video on the Nvidia Ampere GA103 and GA104 leak that is courtesy of video cards. And yeah, it's just a leak regarding these two new graphics cards, basically two semi-high-end graphics cards from Nvidia, which would be the replacement for the RTX 2070 and 2080s. Yeah, I mean, it's a leak at this point, but a lot of people want to know my insights regarding this. Since I do take a keen interest on these kinds of things, but I just don't share my opinions too much, so I don't have a lot to say for this. Yeah, it's just a RTX 3070 and 3080 version. And it looks like there's a few specs for it, but I have issues with the specs. One is that the GA103, the Ampere GA103, has 60 SMs, 3840 CUDA cores, and it looks like 10 gigs to 20 gigs of GDDR6 VRAM, but it's on a 320-bit bus. So yeah, I guess that could that would allow for a 10 or 20 gig. Yeah, but I've seen on other sites that it's 12 gigs, but it's 320, it's not 352, so I'm not too sure on this one. It's just very strange that they're coming out with this information. They usually don't do their higher end graphics card in odd numbers, and generally the the XX80 version would be like their second highest end graphics card in their lineup of graphics card, right? And they just segment everything by cutting like cores and stuff like that, or CUDA cores and stuff like that, memory bandwidth. So, I mean, it looks to be a very powerful graphics card. If this is like anywhere near legitimate, I just don't think so. Yeah. So the GA103, according to this video cards leak, it has 60 SMs, 3840 CUDA cores, 10 to 20 gigs of GDDR6, 320-bit bus, and will be called the RTX 3080. The Ampere GA104 will be 48 SMs, 3072 CUDA cores, 8 to 16 gigs of GDDR6, and it'll be on a 256-bit bus. I mean, those are reasonable specs, I guess. Yeah, they might do the same thing where with the only way we can know about the future, like, is this by looking at the past or present. And the only thing that I really gather from this is that they're segmenting the GA103 and 104 like the Turing GT 104s, which is like the 2080, and then the GT 106s, which is what the original RTX 2070s were based on. So it was like a cut down version of the GT104, but it was called the GT106. And yeah, it's really hard to say if this is anywhere near legitimate. So if you look right here, they have the specs for the it was not the GT104 and 106, it was the Turing TU104 and TU106. And yeah, I mean, they're both on 256 bus, but I don't know. Well, it's just they're bringing this to a 320-bit bus, which is interesting. So mainstream will have some really high bandwidth capabilities. And then mid-tier, it'll stay the same at 256-bit. I just have a lot of issues regarding this. And I get that I'm kind of stumbling over my words right now, but there's really not a lot of information here. And it's also conjecture at best. So my personal opinion, what I stated in another video is they'll probably get a lot better performance out of this. Generally the same as how it has been repeated in history. So we'll get like a 30, maybe 35%, maybe 40% bump. It'll probably consume the same amount of power, even though it's going on a smaller process node. But it won't be like some crazy amount. Like, I have a hard time believing that it'll be a performance bump like we had from Maxwell to Pascal, where it was like 50% across the board, right? I honestly think it'll be like 30 to 35%. If anything's going to gain 50% in performance, it'll probably be ray tracing. Like that may be 50% quicker, but I just don't think traditionally rasterized games will be some significant increase like we got Maxwell to Pascal. I think it'll be like a relative increase. Of course, these graphics cards will be quicker if it is indeed on a 320-bit bus for the RTX 3080 Ampere GA103 line. It'll probably be significantly faster. Like it'll be a good 30 to 35% faster, but power consumption will most likely go up, slightly, or maybe it'll stay the same. Who knows? Again, this is all conjecture at this point. I just have a hard time believing a lot of these specs because they don't name their high-end graphics cards like odd numbers. So this is one of the main concerns that I have from this leak is that it's an odd number for the GA103 Ampere RTX 3080. And it's also hard to believe that it only have 10 gigs of VRAM. But then again, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll keep an eye on this, but there's just a lot of people that wanted me to do a video on this. I just have no source material to do it. So I'd love to do a more in-depth video, but it's just hard to do. The best that I can really do is kind of give you my opinion on how it's been in the past, or give you my knowledge on how it's been in the past and kind of apply it to how we'll most likely be in the future. So a huge grain of salt here. Yeah, another cool thing is that it's purported, again, conjecture is that it'll be on PCI Express 4.0, which then will be a huge increase in bandwidth available to these graphics cards, which I suppose could allow for a significant performance boost. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that the RTX 3080, if it goes the same way as it did with the 1080 to the 2080, is that probably the 3080 will be about the same performance as the 2080 Ti, and the 3080 Ti will be the really interesting one. Like there's just question marks at this point, but I think this will be significantly faster. If the normal graphics cards are like 30% faster, like the 3080s, then the 3080 Ti's will probably be like almost 35-40% quicker than the 2080 Ti's. So that's the one that I'm really interested in. Otherwise, these are just cut down, what they call high-end products, and then they call the really top end, like the Ti, 3080 Ti, 2080 Ti series, the enthusiast level products. But really, it's the 2080 Ti's and 3080 Ti's of next year, or the next upcoming generation. Those are really just high-end products, and then the 2070, 2080 replacements as the 3080, 37s would be mid-tier products, and everything below that will just be kind of just filler, right, for mainstream, for the mainstream market. So I would definitely consider the 3080 and the 3070 to be mid-tier. So current high-end will be next generation mid-tier, and so on and so forth. So that's the only process of deduction that I have right now. So it's my knowledge of the past that I can give to people that are really interested in this stuff. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'll make sure to put this link in the description below. I'm sorry that it's really kind of a conjecture video, but there's so many people that ask me about this. It's really hard to move on. Is there any more information on this article? It's just a really weird name. This is interesting. There's one more piece of information here that I really wanted to go over. Nvidia has never confirmed Ampere is the next generation architecture for the GeForce series. It is only present in multiple publications and leaks from foundries. For now, all we know is that the next architecture could be called Hopper. We actually expect Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang to present a new roadmap at GTC 2020, which starts on March 22nd. Yeah, so another thing is that these Ampere leaks, they're not even on Nvidia's official roadmap. So that's another big issue that I have with these. And really looking from the leaks about the 20 series, they were really off. I mean, the 2080 Ti was supposed to have like 16 gigs of VRAM. I mean, it was really, really done terribly. The leaks were absolutely not even close to the official lineup. So they didn't even have a 2080 Ti for a long time. Like they were leaking about the 20 series when Pascal was the mainstream generation. They didn't even have any information about the 2080 Ti. They were saying that there was going to be a 2080 and a 2080 like high performance variant, and the high performance variant of the 2080 would be on the full fat 104 TU104 die with 16 gigs of VRAM or something. But that, like, it's so off skew that it's not even funny. So I don't know. Like I said, you got to take this with a grain of salt. The best way to contact me regarding this is on my stream. You come and talk to me about this. I give you my ideas. Otherwise, when I'm sort of put on the spot, I have no innate knowledge. I don't really have any leaks regarding this from anybody. Probably this GTC 2020, where they show their official roadmap, then we can kind of decipher what this actually means, this kinds of SM counts and, you know, how much VRAM they'll have and what kind of a memory bus. But for the time being, I think at GTC 2020, Nvidia will most likely reveal what their next enterprise grade card will be. So anything above the GA102, they'll probably release information for at GTC 2020. I just have a hard time believing that any of this information is like concrete at all at this point when it's not even on their official roadmap. So again, I'm sorry to kind of disappoint people that come and watch my videos and stuff like that, but that's pretty much how it is at one point, or at this point right now. So be happy with the 20 series. They're very fast cards. They're significantly faster than Pascal, but it's kind of the norm, right? Like you get progressive updates. You don't get like super insane updates like we had with Pascal from Maxwell, right? So we'll see. I mean, for all I know, they could be like 100% faster or something, even though that's definitely not going to happen in my opinion. I'm just saying I can say some crazy stuff and you could digest it however you want to. It's just, this is the information we got and there's really nothing concrete. So there's really no, there's really nothing that I can, there's really no hypotheses, you know, that comes out of this. There's really nothing that I can make of it. So it's just this leaked information. It looks interesting. It looks like on paper these are a lot faster, but just going from the past, these are probably going to be like 30 to 35% faster, you know, across the board. So we'll see. Yeah. So I'll make sure to put this link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Really, I know that I rambled in this video, but there's so many people that ask me these questions all day long on my streams. Yeah, like I said, I'll put the link in the description below. Please be sure to comment in the comment section below. I can just imagine what kind of comments I'm going to get on this video because so many people are experts on graphics cards, and I'm the only person that is not an expert regarding this, so I cannot give like any, yeah, that's how it's going to be information, like 100% factual proof information. Just, there's no such thing that exists yet, so I'm sorry. You can write it to me and say, oh, this is how it's going to be, and I'm just going to say, all right, that's cool. It, you know, it might or might not be, you know. Please like and subscribe on this video if you enjoyed this comment. I'll make sure to, yeah, I'll make sure to come out with another video regarding this in the near future, but it'll probably be around March when we get enough leaks to make like a proper theory on how these graphics cards were developed for the enterprise space and for the mainstream consumer space. So we'll see how this goes. That's it for me for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.